Welcome to Round Glass. I'm Vishvapani and thank you so much for joining me. This is the 8th session in my series on engaging imagination. So in today's practice, we're going to connect with the image of a fire and we're going to use that as a way to contact energy. So how is your energy today? You can use an image to get a sense of something else. If your energy was a flame, would it be calm and tranquil? Or would it be like spluttering in the grate? Or would it be dangerous and out of control? So flame can be all of those things. And we'll be working with that image in the meditation today. We'll be engaging with our energy and our emotional experience. So I really hope you'll be engaging and participating. It'd be great to hear from you. So please let me know how you're doing in the chat. And I think of a fire. I think of sitting in the evening beside a bonfire in my garden, especially in the summer and one of the long summer evenings such as we're having at the moment. I love sitting with friends. And I really like it if one of them has an instrument. We sit, we chat, we sing perhaps. And I like to potter around, adding wood to the fire, keeping the blaze going. But most of all, I love to watch the flames, how they flutter at the base, flickering up and reaching into the air sometimes. The way they throw up sparks, and the more you get absorbed in watching flames, the more it seems like they're our companions to what's happening inside. And they move like thoughts, they twist like energy in the body, and then they settle down. Just like in the evening, the spirit sinks with the sun. So this is what we'll be working with. I just want to thank everyone who's shared in the chat. So I see someone's described her energy today as sparky. Thank you. And someone else says energy is even and calm. So that's interesting, isn't it? Energy can be like a flame in so many different modes. Let's come back to the image of the fire. Our ancestors have sat by fires for millions of years, basking in their warmth, in their light. And fire is sacred in so many ancient traditions. Sometimes it's an image for the flame within, the spark that makes us human. But the flame, this inner flame, also has a sense of something eternal about it. Anyway, we'll be using the image of a fire, and be using it in the spirit of those traditions to evoke the world of inner experience and our energy. So some traditions have very definite ideas about the energy of the body. You probably know the idea of chakras, and sometimes they are represented as a flame or a series of flames. But it's a universal image of the soul and transformation. So if any questions come up for you in the course of the practice, do ask in the chat. It's great to have that interaction, and I'll do my best to answer your questions when we've finished. So let's get set, let's get ready, and just deciding how you want to sit or lie for the practice, whatever posture you want to be. Sitting is good because as well as being comfortable, we can be alert. I think it's interesting to reflect a little on how we relate to the screen, whether you want to be looking at the screen or turned away from it, whether your eyes are open or closed. If you have your eyes open, then just let them rest on something neutral like the floor rather than looking around the room. So just checking what's right for you in this practice. Feeling the body as we settle in. Resting on the floor. The earth beneath us. And bringing awareness to the body in the way means sensing, not thinking, just sensing the contact. And then we'll quickly scan through the body, so coming up from the floor and going through the legs, the knees, the thighs, and maybe feeling the hands resting on the thighs or somewhere like that. Coming up through the torso and letting the body rise to its full height. Long spine. Open chest. Open heart. Softening the eyes. Softening the face. Just letting them rest. And sensing the whole body. Ambient awareness of the body as a whole. The energy of the body. So as we bring our awareness to the body, we may notice some areas of discomfort. They can quite easily magnetize or attract our attention. So just allowing a sense of discomfort. And also noticing areas that feel comfortable or pleasant. Just simple things like the movement of the breath, the warmth of the hands, noticing the belly, just feeling the breath moving. Noticing any tightness anywhere in the body, and maybe just letting the breath flow into that tight area. Breathing in, gentle breath. So with our awareness around the belly, around the tummy, just noticing the quality of energy in that part of the body. Does it feel heavy or light? Dull or vibrant? Whichever it is, it's not like one is better than the other. It's just noticing what's happening. And bringing awareness to the chest, feeling the movement of the chest, rising and settling. Perhaps feeling our skin brushing gently against our clothing. Sensing perhaps how the lungs move, how the heart beats. But don't worry if you can't feel your heart, it is beating. Maybe we can, it's a very subtle sensation. And again, feeling the quality of energy in the heart center. Maybe connected with feelings, with emotions. And now, as we rest our attention here, just bringing to mind the image of a flame. Perhaps a flame in the heart. And noticing, imagining, sensing how the flame moves, licks up and twists. Colours, blue at the base, usually, rising up to reds and yellows. As if we're sitting by a fire, watching a candle flame, flickering in the breeze. And the flame warms us, as a fire warms us. We feel its heat on our skin, or the flame in the heart warming the body. So just staying with this image. Now, as we do this, of course, thoughts will come along, and we're going to need to just acknowledge them and guide our awareness back. It's completely natural to have thoughts, and it might be that this is really all that's happening. But we can come back to the flame. Even sensing that the flame is an image of our inner experience, flickering and changing, flaring in the breeze, spluttering in a gust, dancing. Watching it dance. Just staying with the image. Breathing. Connecting the image with our experience of the energy of the body. So how do we experience that energy? Sensation in the heart or the chest, and the tummy and the belly. The energy is never still. It moves like the flame. It dances, it twists, or it stays calm and steady. Glowing, radiating light, radiating warmth. And as well as energy, closely connected, there's our emotional experience. All the emotions that are there strongly or subtly, that go with being human. Maybe nothing we can name, but just something we sense. Again, connecting this with the flame. staying with the experience. In the chest, in the belly. Sensing energy. As we continue to watch the flame. Perhaps the flame is becoming more stable, more still. But just as bright, just as many-coloured. Sensing the whole body. The whole body like a flame. Energy. Warmth. Glow. And now starting to let the image fade. Just slowly. Absorbing the image into the body. Feeling the body. Feeling the breath. Staying present. Settling our attention in the heart. And feeling the warmth. The luminescence. And then pausing. And starting to move towards the end of the practice. Just taking our time. Taking time to absorb. And then just bring in a little bit of movement, maybe stretching the fingers, rolling the shoulders. Remembering there's no hurry, not trying to get anywhere. Just doing what your body feels like it needs as we start moving. When we're ready, just bringing the practice to a close and opening our eyes. So even when we finish a practice, we still need a bit of time to absorb, a bit of time to make a transition. It's a process. And one part of that is reflecting. So how was it to imagine that flame in your heart? Really curious to know if any elements of the practice struck you in particular. So we had the image of the fire. Fire just as a flame, but then there's also the image of the fire within. And then the energy of the body, which I talked about in all sorts of ways. A sense of the movement of the energy connected with the movement of the flame. So whatever happened, just noticing what today's practice left you with. Chandra says on LinkedIn, thank you Chandra, just grateful to be listening to this. And thank you for sharing that. It's lovely to hear from you. So, just reflecting a bit, the image suggests that through practicing, we're lighting an inner fire. So let's take that a little bit further. There's the question of preparing something for a fire, building a fire. The Buddha said that wood won't burn when it's wet. Thank you, Buddha. That's rather obvious, but it's actually a really important insight, because what it means is that we have to prepare our minds before the flame can start to burn. And the way that we make our minds ready is through our actions. So this is how we dry out the wood. We not harming other people, acting with kindness. So a question we can ask is, what do I need to do today to dry out the timber? The other thing the Buddha said is, well, the wood will only become dry if it's on dry land. So we need to be in conditions that support change. We want this flame to burn up in our lives. Well, how do we need to live? And then there's a final element about a flame. It needs a spark. So the equivalent would be inspiration. Where can we find that spark? Is it within ourselves? If it is, what do we need to do to allow space so we can feel that spark? But inspiration also suggests external sources, external source of inspiration. What is it that inspires me? What is it that inspires me to be in touch with that flame and to let it burn, let it blaze up, let it blaze out? So, I really invite you to, if the image has touched you at all, to explore it and to think, about how our life relates to what that might mean for you. That's very much what happens when we use images. They're about just reflecting, sparking our imagination, finding what works for us. And of course they work on all sorts of levels. You may have noticed some of that in the meditation. So there's just being present with meditation, sensing the body. There's the whole process of working with thoughts and feelings, evoking qualities. And then there's something that happens, and an image can help, which is entering the world of the mind, entering the world of the image. There's lots more, of course, you can say about this, but that's plenty. That will do for now. So keep coming back to the image. You know, the heart is a flame. Keep it burning. I love that sort of way of thinking. And just as a final thought, I'll leave you with these lines from the poem Sailing to Byzantium by W.B. Yeats, an Irish poet. Very beautiful words. O sages standing in God's holy fire, as in the gold mosaic of a wall, come from the holy fire, burn in a gyre, and be the singing masters of my soul. So thank you for joining me. Follow me on my profile to practice this session again and see when I'm going live next. Have a good day and keep the flame burning.